Hi guys, welcome back. All right, so as promised, when I went live at 9 a.m. on Kate's Regretless Life earlier today, many of you gave very generous donations, and thank you everybody for that. And those of you who made those donations, as I promised, I would be doing your video later. And so I have a list of 29 names of people that were so generous. And so we're going to do a card pull for each one of those 29. As soon as I'm done here, I'll be doing the same thing over on Tarot Dog with the list of names of people who donated during the live session that happened there at 10 o'clock. So with that in mind, I hope that keeps it nice and streamlined. I will put in timestamps and the name of each winner in the description box as soon as I'm done. But for now, let's go ahead and begin with Dede. Please remember, everyone, these are, I'm a fictional storyteller, so do bear that in mind. I always hope that you have something fun or entertaining that comes out of my stories. But Dede, let's begin at 51 seconds. All right, so Dede, my dear, thank you again for being a part of my world. And let's go ahead and get you a card pull and see what is the message from the cosmos. We have an Eight of Swords. This Eight of Swords, though, breaks the norm. Normally, an Eight of Swords is stuck energy. This is the freedom from stuck energy, or it's certainly somebody who's dreaming of getting unstuck. We see that white horse racing forward above those swords there. And we have a Three of Swords in the reverse. This is a message that says a character is getting over a tremendous heartbreak. They perhaps have read something or decoded something very important, something like this is almost like the emerald tablets, like something spiritual, something esoteric has really helped a character to perhaps, or will help a character to break free of a heartbreak. This says the heartbreak's almost over. We have purity and a refreshed energy. We have this powerful divine feminine in her armor racing forward. If our character is getting little signs and signals from time to time, those are positive little signs and signals. Perhaps white horses show up. If our character notices the image of a white horse or the color orange or something in concert with the white, or somebody wearing a suit of armor, those could be little signs and signals from the universe that you're almost broken free of this heartbreak. The heartbreak is actually much more healed than it seems to be already. I kind of feel like we're dealing with somebody who's got a real strong sense of something very mystical to them if we're looking at the emerald tablets as a part of this. I'm going to get you one last card, Dede. There's also inscribed on that heartbreak card that is in the reverse. Look at this. We have the healing of the star, Aquarius energy. But inscribed here, we actually have a little bit of a map and the country of, I think it's Libya. Oh, no, excuse me, Lebanon. Lebanon is shown here. So, oh, that makes me think of amazing food. I love Lebanese food. But I'm just adding that in as some little side point. There could be either, I don't know, maybe our character is going to be having an epiphany while they're eating Lebanese food, or perhaps they're going to be going someplace and they meet somebody who is from Lebanon. But this is part of their healing process, their healing journey. This, if I were to apply a song to it, it would be the song by Prairie Oyster, Lonely One. And in that song, he says, and like the moon turns the tide, a new love will dry your eyes. This is such a beautiful promise of a brighter day up ahead and a lot of successes yet to come. We have transformation with the blue iridescent butterfly. We have all kinds of energy from the quartz crystals. And we may have an Aquarius who is stepping into our character's world. There is some promise from the cosmos that you're just about out of a painful experience and it's about to get so much better than what our character could have expected it to become. There is a message about continuously elevating and continuously moving toward good vibrations, whether that be listening to positive music or getting out and exercising more, getting out there and feeling the wind in our hair. But this is definitely a healing journey that is just about to culminate in a lot of happiness. So it's a very encouraging message, is the way I would say that. All right, Dede, thank you again for being here. Next up, ET coming in at 4:30. All right, ET, let's get a card pull for you. Thank you so much for hanging out with me earlier today. All right, ET, I feel like using the Guardians of the Night deck. So we have 9 of Cups. Ooh, and we got Knight of Pentacles. So first off, the 9 of Cups says, cherish all of our wins, lean toward our successes, our wish fulfillment, be proud of the things that we've done well, but also slow it down so that we get to enjoy it longer. This is like, okay, I have a brother who celebrates his birth month, not birthday, not birth week, birth month. And it's like, I think birthdays are a great time to start thinking about, our life and how much we love being alive. This almost says that our character could be a little more stubborn about really enjoying the fruits of their labor. I know peacocks get a bad rap for being, braggadocious or something, but I actually think it's the reverse. I think the message is that our character has not really ever lingered long enough in those sweet moments. And it maybe is important to drag out those sweet moments, not to be stubborn about it per se, but to get the most value out of it. Sometimes like chewing our food slower to really savor the flavor. This character has done well for themselves. They've done admirable things and they will continue to do admirable things. But it says, make good moments last even longer by thinking about them longer, by, creating those memories and not just, let me put it this way. Sometimes when we're busy creating memories, we're also really busy capturing them on, our phones and our cameras. And that might be beautiful to have a snapshot, but on the other hand, do we get to really just enjoy the moment? If our character is about to take a vacation someplace, take the pictures, sure, but then don't instantly go on to the next thing to see. Take the photo and then sit down and have a sip of water and enjoy the scenery that you just took that photo of. Because this says our journey through life can be savored in a much sweeter way, and our character definitely deserves that. I really like this. Also, when you look good and you're all dressed up after the event, you don't have to go take off the fancy outfit. Wear it the rest of the day. Why not? Enjoy looking fantastic. I know I like the encouragement of this message to just revel in the goodness, revel in the well-dressed, exciting, kind of fun, sexy energy. I love that. Thank you again, ET. You're lovely. Thank you for being here. Next up, Sandy Mara coming in at 7:27. All right, Sandy Mara, let's get a card for you, my dear. What have we got? We've got the 10 of Pentacles in the reverse. Hold on. I've got to get at least one more there because what that says right now is that we have some kind of an absence, well, not for long. Yes, we have a character who possibly lost their entire support network. Maybe friends turned out to be frenemies. Maybe family members, we ended up having beef with. This feels like, man, sometimes the bottom drops out of our safety net. But that's when the divine holds us in their hands and lifts us up a little higher. And in truth, and I know this sounds maybe a little unkind, but there's a lot of beauty in being part of the collective or part of the group and, working with the group. But sometimes we also have to sacrifice a lot of our own talents and skills in order to slow down and fit in with the rest of the group and their needs. And this is a blessing in disguise because what has been lost, even if our character actually got kicked out of a group, let's say, I'll use this as just an example. Let's say we were in a group of, we took dance lessons at the local community center and we were in a group with all these other dancers. And let's say we were a better dancer, but the group choreography had to be simplified. And then let's say there gets to be a problem within the group and our lead character is the one who more or less gets kicked out. Maybe it turns out to be a group of mean girls, whatever it is. That could be really painful. Like, man, I used to love going and now I can't even go anymore. No. Find another dance studio and you'll find maybe a whole different style of dance where you don't have to hamper yourself and only do rigid choreography when you are much more flexible and can do much more. All of a sudden you get a chance to really move your talents and manifest and be more in the sunlight and follow your own path. In this case, a group, even though first it feels sad to be away from a group, the group was hampering our character's own genuine pathway of what they needed to do. This could be somebody who lost a job, somebody who lost a group of like-minded individuals, the group disbanded, and it doesn't have to be negative. It doesn't have to be somebody get kicked out, but let's just say the group itself dissolves. that's all right, because our character was actually supposed to go down a slightly different path for themselves. It's a path where I really still feel like this is a more talented individual who is meant to not be hampered by the group mentality, because they have some unique attributes that they never could have been able to shine as brightly as they really do. Like, why sing in a group if you're meant to be a soloist? You know, that's the kind of analogy. And I think our character is just coming to that conclusion. So this says, when if something goes wrong and we lose our group, our support network, instead of feeling a loss, look at, okay, then what am I supposed to do as a solo individual? Because there must be a reason that I am, kind of being pushed to be a soloist. And I think in this storyline, it says it loud and clear. All right, next up, we have True Colors Melody. Thank you so much for being here. Coming in at 10:52, True Colors Melody. All right, my dear, let's see, what is the message from the cosmos? We got a 5 of Pentacles in the reverse. The time for feeling a loss is over. The time for feeling out in the cold is over. Things are thawing out. In particular, if our character had a negative thought process, like, oh, I'm just not the person who ends up, having a romance blossom. No, look, every flower has to be tended to. If we got a crappy gardener, that flower shouldn't have to grow in that crappy gardener's ground. Instead, somebody else comes along and transplants that beautiful flower and takes them to a garden that they will be nurtured and be tended to properly. The fact that we have this 2 of Wands, this says our character is getting their I'll say their mojo back, where they recognize, I'm not supposed to be out here feeling like I'm less than. Why would I tolerate that? I should be choosing things that make me feel better, stronger, make me feel happier. I'm in the position where actually the whole world is in my hands. So why am I wishing for the one thing that's far away, the one thing that wasn't present for me? I deserve better. And I think our character, the message from the universe is, you literally sit with every need that you have is right there. You have more abundance. And I'll even say there's more abundance and more personal choice. This character is going to be able to excel in ways that they never could have previously. This is not a loss. It is definitely a sense of freedom, and it empowers our character to have their personal choices be their own once again. Might they lament a little bit? Something that still pulls their attention? Yes, but it might be because, the light from the moon is really the way the sun is casting its light on the moon and is reflected, right? The moon doesn't emit its own light. So I would just say, even if our character has a memory of something from their past, they're over that memory, but the memory itself serves them well. It reminds them why they're choosing better for themselves. It reminds them, like, of the comparison, like, wow, I actually feel so much more self-satisfied right now. I have so many more opportunities right now. And back when I used to feel kind of out in the cold, that's because that's where I used to be. So that memory is not a bad thing to hold on to, because it reminds us of how plentiful our life now is. It reminds us of why we're not going back. So instead of having a memory of like, gosh, I missed that, or I wish I could have them again, or I wish that, that could have worked out, this character has completely changed their entire perspective, which I think is really positive. All right. Thank you so much for being here. True Color Melody. Leah D coming in at 13:57. All right, Leah D, let's get you a card pull. I don't know why, but I chose for you the, we got 3, the chakra deck. And we've got only one card upright. The other 2 are sideways. So we have the root chakra, the root of everything. It's a new beginning. It's walking a different direction with that 8 of Cups. It's going down one's own spiritual pathway. Sideways, we have the 4 of Cups and we have the 3 of Cups. Now, this is heart chakra and this is solar plexus. So the house of willpower here. We have a character who is, I would say, has been contemplating strongly. First off, they're an incredibly strong character. The root of who this person is this, they know what they're made of. They know that I kind of think that this character has made their way through life, their entire life, without too much support or without too many people being around them and trying to be a part of their world. My impression is that we have a character who's immensely powerful, and they might, if anything, be more powerful than many other partnerships. They might always be the rock, and they kind of know that. That's a good thing to be aware of, is one's own personal strength. Because what they are contemplating right now, anyway, is with the kinds of friendships and connections that they have, I think they're going to have to start weeding a few of them out. A few that, if it's only causing me grief, why am I bringing it into my world? If it only causes me some hurt or some pain or some confusion or some illusion, then in truth, not every person maybe can hold the same place in my life, because sometimes it continues to be a disappointment. And I just think that our character is sitting and they're evaluating, I don't want to say who to cut out of their life, but it looks like they're sitting and evaluating the quality of different connections, and how closely they're going to keep certain connections to them. Now, they might be considering moving, and they might be a little bit torn, saying, but I have a lot of, friends here, and I have a lot of people that, are a part of my daily life. But there's also, it's a mixed bag, It's like, but if I moved, if I went someplace else, this could be about work related, or this could be about physically moving to a whole new, country or state, or, joining a different group of, social activities. If I move forward, I know I'm going to meet new amazing people. And if a lot of the relationships that I have right now, or some of them anyway, have a lot of demands on me, and others are a little disappointing, and some are illusions, I almost think that this is somebody saying, it might behoove me to welcome new energies into my life. And I think this is a character just contemplating the reality of that. They know they're going to be fine. And I kind of think that in life, there's so many people on this planet. There's so many people to meet. Why would we limit ourselves and say, well, I've met this group and they must be the ones I've always got to stick with, even if there's disappointments, even if there's power struggles. It's like, we can care about people and keep them in our lives on the periphery and still allow ourselves to bring in completely new friends, completely new lovers. And I kind of think that's what this character is at. They're at a point where they're knowing it's time to bring in new energies into their life. I'm going to stand by that because I feel real strong about that message. Next up, we're going to Pam. Pam is coming in at 1735. All right. Pam, my dear, thank you so much for being a part of my world. Pam, I'm going to pull, I think, from a really colorful, abstract, artistic deck. Hang on just a second. What do we got for Pam? We have Justice, Libra energy, and we have Seven of Wands. There has been a hurdle to getting things to work out smoothly. Now this, because I consider this to be the message from the cosmos, this is almost like saying the universe is presiding over everything, saying, I want things to be more fair. And in this case, please forgive me, I always just try to read the story that I get, no matter what it is. This time it's the universe saying, our character is not being fair with themselves. The universe is sitting right on our head saying, I'm your little guardian angel, but I can't do you much good if you're going to be mean to you. You can't block the blessings I'm guiding you toward. I can, put you on the track to bring you right to a winning lottery ticket. But if you won't extend your hand and accept it, then I still can't get it any closer into your pocket. So don't make obstacles. Don't have negative self-talk. Don't tell yourself unkind things. Don't ignore all of the beauty that is you, or imagine that you're undeserving. I'm sorry to be so specific. Please forgive me. I'm not trying to tell you who you are. This is a fictional story, but this message I think is very relatable, because lots of times I think it's easy to get into an energy of blocking our own blessings, and we are the ones doing ourselves wrong. So if this character has any tendency to say, oh, I just have a tacky taste. No, it's their own unique taste. It's different than everybody else's. This character, perhaps they have a really colorful way of dressing, or their home decor. Yeah, and they could be a very skilled artist. What they show, how they present themselves is beautiful. It's remarkable. But they're like, oh, I'm just tacky. No. Own it. This is your art. Be proud that you have a design taste and skill that others don't have. This all talks about 7 is a divine number, and it's time to change. It's time to embrace your unique skills is what this says. It's time to realize, kind of like particularly this year is important that our character does this, because we've got this little dragon head that is kind of like sneaking in, and it almost looks like a calla lily that's going to bloom open a little bit. I feel like our character just needs to be their own best friend instead of their own worst enemy. And I think it's very pointed. This message from the cosmos is very supportive of our lead character. It's a reminder that, Dylan, you are a divine creature. You are blessed by a lot of grace and a lot of beautiful ideas. Your crown chakra is open. You have a ton of amazing energy. But the biggest obstacle is a character admitting that to themselves. So they're a much more beautiful person, attractive person, and interesting person than what they're giving themselves credit for. It's time that our character gives themselves more credit. I really like that one. That's such a beautiful reminder. But in this case, it says it's super important to be reminded of that. All right, Pam, thank you again for being here. Next up, Shavon is coming in at 2112. Shavon, let's get a card for you. Thank you so much for hanging out with me earlier today. All right, Shavon, we have got 2 cards that popped out again with the Justice, popular card no matter what deck I get. Justice, so Libra energy, and then we've got the 10 of Wands in the reverse. So Leo Sag energy. Both of these are in the reverse, which is actually really nice. We have a huge release of tension. A huge release, especially if there had been, let me show you here. You notice how she's carrying all of this bundle, and then we've got this heart over here, like inscribed on stone, like a piece of graffiti almost, walking past it every day. I'm going to wager to say this was a heartbreak because of the memory of, you know what, I did not get a fair shake. Somebody did not treat me well. I was left with a huge burden. I was left with all kinds of problems. This says either the universe is going to help make this right. There's going to be a karmic balance involved. This could be like maybe somebody didn't get a fair shake in some legal case, and the financial aspect, they were left with a huge burden of debt. You know, a divorce occurs, but I'm the one who has a bunch of the debt to still pay off that we jointly accrued together, but now I'm the one stuck paying it off. This says, no, actually, maybe a source of financial aid is coming in from another avenue, but it's something that will really alleviate a lot of stress. This is, I would argue, I don't know that it's something as tangible as that, because to me, this looks like it's all energy flow is really what this message is talking about. The stress surrounding a relationship. I think somebody was in a connection that was extremely unsatisfactory, and it might have made a person continuously feel like they weren't good enough, not good enough, not good enough. And it's like, how can this be love? Well, the bottom line is, I think our character is going to realize, oh, wait a minute, that wasn't it. I didn't have to keep walking past this thing that hurt me and keep saying, well, I guess this is love. I guess this is the version of love I get. No, our character is going to realize, oh, wait a minute, I deserve something warmer, softer, better. The thing I was tolerating was the thing I should have let go of. Okay, problem solved. Now, I never read vindictive, but I will say when karmic justice comes in to make something right that was wrong, this could be a huge apology coming in from someone as well. Or they may simply acknowledge, I didn't treat you right. And that also could come in words, because you know, swords can represent words and thoughts. This could be an unexpected apology coming in from someone. And that may go a long way to, you know, just them acknowledging like, wow, I should have treated you better. However, we don't always get apologies from people that should give them, but I will say laying down the burden is just so beautiful. And it's such a huge relief. There is going to be a settling of the energy, a settling of the, either the universe is helping with this, or an actual person, maybe a Libra, is actually saying, you know, words that are going to be really supportive. But I think the net result is what's most important, which is our character has deserved better and is going to be receiving better. And a lot of that pressure is going to come off their shoulders. That's what I saw in that. All right. Anyway, thank you so much for being here, Shavon. All right, Crystal Gypsy, you are up next, 2442. Crystal Gypsy, here we go. Let's go with this deck, I think, for Crystal Gypsy. Crystal Gypsy, I'm going to change my mind. This one is calling to me instead, and I think it's always best to listen to whatever the pull is. We have Ace of Cups. Ooh, this is beautiful. Ace of Cups is taking a leap. There is a beautiful ballet dance of happiness coming in. You notice that we even have another like ghostly image of her doing the same dance move. This incredible ballerina is out there dancing her heart out for her life. She is filling her cup of love. I feel like, somebody could have, I don't know, I'm hearing all kinds of music in my head right now, a lot of old classic French music. This feels like Edith Piaf songs are in my mind. Maybe somebody's going to go to the ballet, but I just feel like it's a time of more, look at this, more art, more beauty, more love, more gentleness. We have a Six of Cups. We could have a very romantic or very beautiful or very fun time. Because we do see two little girls, I almost feel like this is, I think somebody's heart is going to be really full because a soulmate, possibly a childhood friend or sibling, they're going to recapture some of that joy of their youth. This card can be heavily associated with nostalgia, but I feel like this could be a time to giggle and enjoy and laugh more and really feel that youth and vitality refilling our hearts. But I will say this can also be a romantic partnership that is coming in, and it's a time, this could be a blast from the past, an ex from a long time ago, where it's like, oh my gosh, we're like little kids. We laugh together. They bring out my childlike side. And this is the kind of love I wanted to have, something joyful, something fun, something soft, something that would really put a smile on my face. I feel like that's what's coming in for our character. Now, again, you notice they have to take the leap for it, though. I think that's the biggest message here is lean in, reach out. Maybe our character is the one who's been thinking about somebody for a long time, and they're the ones who reach out and reconnect. Sometimes it's not about like waiting for a soulmate to return so then we can have this fun time. It's about making the fun time begin by being the person that reaches out first. I feel like there's going to be a moment where our character is suddenly, maybe it is like a song plays on the radio and it sparks a memory, and then that afternoon they're picking up their phone, calling that person that they used to know from a long time ago. And I feel like it snaps them back to that playful, beautiful time, and those playful, beautiful times are restored. This, even if this were about an existing connection, it's about to get a lot more lighthearted. It's about to get like, again, the happy nostalgia is going to be brought to the surface. And I think that really is what these characters needed for both of their sake, to have their hearts full and to feel joyful again. It's really nice, but one person doesn't have to start it. And I feel like it's our lead character who's got to do the reaching out. But boy, what a lovely and soft energy on that. What a delightful time. I love it. All right, next up, L. Bowan. Let's get you going at 2805. All right, L. Bowan. Let's see. I think for you, there we go. I want to go with a deck that has a lot of green on it. So I don't know if this is going to be about growth or career or finance or nurturing. Ooh, Two of Fire. So Two of Wands. We got the world sitting smack dab in the middle. This almost feels like somebody is trying to decide which side of the world do I want to live on. This could be a character who's going to have some pretty big decisions to make. About what they care about what, where they want to be, who they want to identify as. Oh, wow. We have the Lovers, again, a card of choice. And then we have the Six of Fire. I don't think it's a choice between two different lovers per se. I think it's a choice between, am I ready to really receive this kind of love? Am I ready to say yes to this person? Maybe they thought, oh, I'm waiting for somebody to decide if they want to pick me. I would argue the message from the cosmos says, no, it's up to the individual, because we got the sword of truth right there. I feel like right now our character's ability to manifest is off the charts. I feel like they're in a very powerful frame of mind, but they do have to commit. If they are ready to have a partnership in their life and have that incredible love, you notice how we have this person in a cloak. We can't see their face, but we can see hers. I feel like this is a single character who is ready to have love if they want it. If they want it, it's going to come in fast. They will meet the love of their life. If they are not that interested yet in doing that, if there's any piece of them that says, yeah, but I don't know, then they'll have success in some other area of life. Is it going to be, are they more career oriented? What do they really want most? And sometimes it's hard to boil down, what is it that I really want most? And even here, is it career path success that I'm really focused on? Or do I want, to meet someone and get married and build a family, which is my priority right now? One flame is definitely higher than the other, even though the vantage point is also, at a greater distance, but I still say one flame is higher. My impression is that love is more important at this point in time. So once a character identifies that and acknowledges that, I feel like that opens the floodgates to have the success in that area. But it does look like our character has to subconsciously decide, what is it that I'm really hungry for right now? Let me make my priorities really clear in my own head and heart, because when we're in a phase of this powerful an opportunity to manifest, it would behoove our character to really make a game plan, which sounds kind of silly. I'm making a game plan to welcome in life or love into my life. But yes, they have to channel their energy. It makes sense if we think about it like if we had a fire hydrant, a hose, and we know that we have to point the hose wherever the fire is if we want to put it out. That makes sense. We know what our motive is. We know what we're doing. We know how we're angling our energy or the energy of the water. But now when we're talking about manifesting, we don't want to put something out. We want to energize it. So we have to point our energy at the thing that we want. What are we aiming for? And I think that's the message here, because this character, it's a perfect time for them to really have an amazing romance if that's their priority. And if it's not, then it'll be because they wanted something else to be successful. But I think acknowledging their own power is what this real message is about. I liked that one. That was strong. That was super strong. All right, next up, I have got Broken Bee for Bliss coming in at 3207. All right, Broken Bee for Bliss. Let's go with, I think, this deck for you. Broken Bee for Bliss. Let's get one card here. We have got the Lovers, Gemini energy. And here we do have somebody sitting there not sure about which choice they want. We do have somebody that is, we have a divine masculine sitting there with two different feminine energies. We have the Ace of Pentacles, we have the Seven of Swords, and we have the Eight of Pentacles. Okay, I always say I try to be as straightforward in my fictional storytelling as I can be, and I'm going to do that right now. Because I feel like from the vantage point, it's like we walked into a room and we recognize, oh, player, huh? You're trying to decide who you're flirting with today, or you're concurrently flirting with two other people. Okay, now that I see that's where you're at, you don't really know what you want. That lets me know what I want, which is to walk down a different road. I'm going to go ahead and go through this gateway to a garden where everything grows, instead of waste my time being one of your many, many choices. And I think what's crazy is the second our character does this, they sense like, where are you going? Wait, no, I mean, I wanted you to be an option too. But see, that's not what our character wants. Our character is going to go someplace where somebody really works on things with them. They want to be around people of high value. Our character is somebody of high value, and our character is somebody who has the courage to see things for what they are and say, oh yeah, not interested. I thought I was, until I realized I was dealing with somebody that doesn't know who they are or what they want. I kind of feel like this is the passion killer for our lead character. If I've dealt with somebody who just doesn't know what they want, I can see the difference. We're light years apart in who we are. So thank you. I'm exiting stage left, and they're not even a potential someone that I would pick as my partner, which of course, that's exactly why this person now, I think they even want to come in and pretend that they didn't do this, but we already know that they did do that. And I just feel like that's it's kind of like, oh, shoe fly. Don't even come around and try to tell me something other than what I saw with my own eyes. I'm already gone, and I'm already on a pathway of greater growth. And all you did was you sealed it for me. You being indecisive showed me how truly decisive I truly am and how dedicated I am. And I kind of feel like our lead character already has their eyes on somebody that is head and shoulders above this previous attractive but highly flirtatious individual. I'm sorry, this feels like a very specific story about romance, but I think our lead character is not waiting around for them. And unfortunately for this story, the way they're behaving, it doesn't look like they're making many changes. It looks like this is still who they choose to be. And they kind of run away from accountability. Meanwhile, our lead character here goes directly toward highly accountable individuals. And I just think it's almost like, forgive me, it's going to sound rude, but someone who came across like, oh my God, they're so well dressed. They seem so powerful. They seem like an emperor. And then we find out, oh my God, you're like a little kid in emperor's clothes. Meanwhile, my mechanic that I just dropped my car off to, I can see they're the real deal. They're intelligent. They're dedicated. They've got their craft, their skill. They're focused on getting my car running, doing their business and handling themselves with great, precision and accuracy. This person who I barely know, other than a person who is fixing, my radiator, they are 10,000 times more suited to me and more attractive to me than this person that I may have been trying to date now that I've seen their true colors. It's just like the comparison is night and day. And I feel like in this storyline, that's the big message, is like, I can't unsee what I just saw, and I'm moving on. I don't think that our character has much more to even say or deal with that person from the past. So it's kind of a clean cut on that one. All right, next up, Nicole coming in at 37. We'll just make it an even 37. All right, so Nicole Denise, let's go ahead, and I'm going to use this deck for you. Let's get a card for Nicole Denise. What is the message? We have got the Knight of Swords in the reverse, and we've got the Ten of Pentacles upright. This is really nice. I'm sorry, did I say Knight and Nine of Swords? My apologies. The worry is about to be replaced. It's like somebody's having a nightmare one night, but it's like the next day is going to be awesome. If this is a day at work or a company picnic or a family reunion, I feel like somebody is having or was having some sleepless nights, and I think it's going to all be like beautiful. It's those sleepless nights previously. This person's going to chuckle and be like, I can't believe I was so nervous about this. This was fabulous. This was such a great energetic exchange. This was such a great event. I'm so thrilled that I did go to this event. I'm so happy that I did connect. I'm so glad I thought I was going to puke in my shoes the day of my interview, but now I've got this amazing job with, people that I feel like are practically family members. This feels like, I think our character maybe didn't realize that they were going to find a place that feels so much like home. They didn't know if they were going to be well received or accepted. They didn't know that this is how comfortable things can feel. And it's like, it's hard sometimes to push ourselves to get out of our comfort zone, to go somewhere, to do something, to receive something, or accept the abundance that is out there. But to me, it looks like once our character does this, they're going to almost chuckle and be like, I can't believe I used to be worried about this. This could be somebody nervous about going on a first date, and it turns out, like maybe they tell their partner years later, I almost just ghosted or no-showed. I was so nervous. It feels like, don't run from the things that could be really abundant because of the nervousness about what if this goes wrong. This is a brave character. They're facing something, and I think it's really it behooves them. This is how our tree builds deeper roots, and this is the tree of life. This is a character who they've already, I think, accomplished a lot, but I think one of their hurdles in life is to go ahead and think that things could turn out the best instead of that things might not turn out well. Let me just get one more. Said one, we got two. Yeah, we got the Three of Cups. We got the Fool. This keeps feeling like this is a new group or a new relationship, and maybe a new romance, maybe a blind date, but it feels like our character is willing to take that plunge and say, all right, I'm nervous about groups, especially groups of people I barely know, but I'll go. Or I'm nervous to go out on a blind date, but I guess I'll go. This attitude of leaping into the new, even though we don't know how it's going to go, and trusting that, it's kind of like humans are better than what we give them credit for lots of times. This feels celebratory. This feels wonderful. This feels like somebody attends a party and it turns out fabulous. This feels like this is how they meet the love of their life. So it's kind of like, if there's an opportunity to go or to get nervous and, hide out, it says go instead. Go and mingle with people, because there's beautiful people that I think this character is going to be meeting. But they need just that little bit of encouragement to go ahead and go. Say yes, even though it's like, I don't want to go around people. It says you'll be pleasantly surprised, possibly, by the kindness of others. Next up, Jaime Clark. You are coming in at 4054. All right, Jaime Clark. Let's see what we've got for you, my dear. Jaime, we're going to go with this deck for you. All right, Jaime Clark. What is our card for Jaime? We have got the Knight of Wands. This is my wild child card. So she is this hot-blooded, hot mama, wild Mustang, bongo playing, drum circle, like Coachella attendee. This is somebody who likes music. This is somebody who's powerful. This is somebody who's fun. This is, I hear like a lot of indie music playing right now. She could have taken drum lessons at some point. But we have the Tower in the reverse. We have a King of Pentacles upright. We have the Ten of Wands. And we have the Page of Cups. So we got quite a flood of cards, right? I was trying to do just a one card pull for everyone, but sometimes I either need one more card or a couple come out at once. And obviously, it's not really a surprise that I feel like she's been adventurous. Our lead character has been an adventurer. I don't think she likes to be held in one spot. I don't think she likes to give up or surrender her, her sense of personal freedom. But this, to me, says she's going to be meeting somebody, maybe somebody older than herself, maybe somebody wiser. But you notice their pet is a wolf. Wolves are still wild. A King of Pentacles seems to be very domesticated, but what they treasure is the wild streak. And it's so funny because I feel like I almost think that we're talking about a character. Sorry, these cards were upright, but then when I dropped them, they all went cattywampus. I think that for her, she's wanted to be able to stay free. And even though she's going to meet somebody that's very grounded, I think the thing that they love is that sense of freedom. I think she's changing her perception. Maybe good relationships don't ruin your ability to still be an independent person. Maybe instead they support that and enhance that. This feels new. This feels, you notice, I don't mind. I'll sit here and wait while you float into the sky. I feel like they are going to be crazy about her. I'm sorry, this is a very specific message, but all I can say is again and again, what I see is somebody very stable who is going to love a character that is very independent spirited. And I think the message here is that the right person doesn't force us to change. If we make changes, it's only because we want to make those changes because we enjoy our partner, but not because a partner demands it of us. And I think with the Ten of Wands, maybe she hasn't been well accepted. Maybe she's been called flaky or flighty. Maybe she's been someone who was told you can't act like that and you've got to grow up. And it's like, but this is me. It's not a matter of age or maturity. I am mature, but I'm also a free individual. And I think she finally is going to say, yeah, that's it. That is who I am. And it's okay to be who I am. I'm not going to be changing that. I think that self-acceptance is what brings in a partner who could be vastly different than her on paper, but their heart is free. Maybe they are a little older, a little wiser, and what they've realized is don't ever, try to control someone whose strength comes from their wild nature. That's a beautiful thing. If my wolf wants to be beside me, it's because he chooses me, which is a stronger relationship than if I put him on a shock collar or something horrible and demand that, I must, control this wild animal. This is so perfect for her to match with a mate like this. Someone who, the right person is going to love her for exactly who she is, and she knows it now. The right person is going to be like, you can still levitate. I can't levitate, but I love the fact that you do. And that's something that I appreciate and admire about you. I think that's the thing. She's finally either meeting this kind of a person or will meet this kind of a person. But the big thing is that she had to get to the point of radical self-acceptance for exactly who she is. Just because other people want to put labels on an individual doesn't mean that their labels are correct. And it certainly doesn't mean that, well, because somebody labeled me this or that, I guess I can never find the right partner that will like me for who I am. This says, oh yeah, this person's a freaking catch. There is somebody amazing out there. But if she has to change herself in order to pretend to be someone so she can get into a relationship, would that be amazing anyway? That this kind of challenges that and says, maybe it would be better to be exactly who we are, so that we only match with the people that accept the authentic us. And I think that's exactly what she has coming in. All right, that was beautiful. Thank you guys so much for being here. Jamie, it was nice to see you, honey. All right, next up, Melissa J. coming in at 4616. Whoops, 4616, Melissa J. Sorry, my pen went funky there for a second. Melissa J, let's go with a very cosmic deck here. What is the message? Melissa J, we have the Lovers and we have the Knight of Cups. Okay, so starts out with Gemini, and boy, it just keeps going really well. This feels like an upcoming meeting. This feels like our character is going to, I don't know, this feels like an event. Maybe they're at an art gallery. Maybe they're at something where there's music or dance. Maybe they almost physically bump into each other, but I feel like these two are on a collision course to meet. This feels more like Cupid or Eros has been trying to mush these two together. In Greek mythology, oftentimes, the gods kind of watch the mortals and sometimes intervene or, push or prod just little bits here and there. The fact that we have this Knight of Cups energy, this could be somebody a little bit younger than our lead character. I don't think so. I think this is the intervening energy. I feel like it's very heart-centered. I feel like two people that are perhaps like, because the Gemini is the card of duality as well, Gemini being the twins, it almost feels like these two are going to be a great match because they are the other half of one another, and they could flop and flip roles as well. It could be like friends might make those comments like, wow, if I could have created you in another body, that's who you're dating. Like, you're dating you in another body. You're dating, someone who is so much like you, but where you're calm, they're spicy, where you're spicy, they're calm. But if the roles were reversed, you would have been the one freaking out, and instead they calm you down. It could be that perfect a match. But what's beautiful about this is it's saying these two are going to collide. They're on a collision course already. And I think their life choices have pushed them in this direction. Now we could say that maybe it is a gift from the gods. Maybe this will feel like there's a spiritual component. Maybe this will feel like someone tried to orchestrate them meeting. But the bottom line says we've got two people on a collision course that are a really great match. We do see lungs here, so I don't know if these two, maybe they work in medicine, medical field or something. They could, maybe they're pulmonologists or something, or maybe they were athletes. Maybe they meet at the gym while they're working on their cardio, working on their fitness. It feels like they're going to share something else profound. They're going to share a similar mindset on something. And that might be how they are ending up. Sorry, my dog is very protective today. That's how they're ending up meeting, is through this shared perspective, this shared interest. That's actually really awesome. All right. Thank you so much for being here. Aries, my love. Aries, come here, baby. You did good. Good boy. Come here. I think I just had mail delivered. All right, Patricia, you are going to be up next, my dear. And Patricia, you are coming in 49. All right. Patricia, let's get started. What is my message from the cosmos? Patricia, we've got Queen of Pentacles. She has a cloud around her head, which could be a thought bubble, a thought cloud. She could be brainstorming ideas. This is a character with tremendous abundance. She's a true giver, but she also has a lot of ideas. Oh, Nine of Pentacles. She's got ideas on what she should do next, how she should invest in herself. I think this is, I mean, that's the message from the cosmos is think, I know it sounds rude, think less about others and more about oneself right now. I always feel like this is somebody taking a single person's vacation where they're going to do some great photography. They're going to go out and, take a cruise, go someplace, and it's just for them. It's a reward for themselves. I think our character has been under a bit of a cloud lately of, she doesn't look super happy right here, and here she does. I think it's kind of like, hey, what are we working so hard for if we never spend any of our money on our own self? It's time to receive some of the abundance that she tends to want to give to others, because I think she needs a break. I think this is the message here is like, if it's been a long time since we did something sweet for ourselves, since we treated ourselves like somebody valuable, now is a good time for her to go ahead and do that. That cloud of worry or concern that she's obviously looking off into the distance. She's overseeing everything. She's up in the clouds. This feels like somebody who either they feel like the matriarch or the patriarch of their family, or they feel like the person in charge of like the entire business, or they care so much about all the moving parts. And I think it's time that they realize, wait a minute, I've been so busy caring about everything other than me. Now, this could also be a mother figure who is looking at a younger individual and saying, man, I remember when I used to be more like that, feel like I was, pretty strong and pretty confident. We have Six of Swords and we have the Temperance. I think if anything, it's a really, if we meet someone who reminds us of our younger self, it's for the sake of a message. It's not to say, man, I remember when I used to be that powerful and now I feel so much less than. No, she's a freaking queen. The queen only gets better and better. We don't need to wish for our younger days. We don't meet other people that are powerful and then say, wow, I guess they're the new up and coming. Oh no, this is like, look, I'm going to use actors and actresses as an example here, but really amazing actors and actresses, they only get better as they age, right? Like the Dame Judi Dench is like a freaking legend, there are people that they're going to outshine any of the younger generation that they're in films with. So if we're paired next to somebody who reminds us of the younger version of ourselves, what it's going to do is it's going to remind us of, that's right, I left behind the folly of youth, and now I am that younger person, but I'm also this temperate, powerful version of me. I don't have to go through some of those old struggles of self-worth because I actually already have everything that the younger person has. Plus, I've got this essence of me being like a fine wine. I am all of that and more. I didn't somehow lose my vitality because I'm more mature now. I'm actually that younger person as well as more knowledge, more wisdom. And my wisdom now says start treating myself better. I think our character needs to move away from stressful situations for a little bit and really regain some work-life balance and some balance in how they see themselves. That's the way I would describe that story. Oh, I loved that message, actually. That was really, I don't know, just felt good. It felt like I just brushed my teeth. It feels really nice. All right, next up, I am going to go to Monica Vincente, coming in at 5406. All right. Sorry, my handwriting is not the best. Monica, let's see what we got here. We have got 8 of Swords and 4 of Cups. Okay, so we've got a little bit of stuck energy. Somebody's stuck in a disappointment right now. The message from the universe says, wait, now there's an illusion. We're stuck because we haven't seen something clear because we've got this illusion bugging us. Page of Wands, Magician in the reverse, Ace of Cups. Okay. Unfortunately, we're disappointed over something that isn't real, because a magician is, it's a trickster. Instead of being this powerful, amazing person, they were only a page. But they might have come across as somebody like, this is somebody who talks a big game, makes big promises, like, oh, I'm going to buy, I'm going to take you out to this 5-star, dinner, blah, blah, blah. When in fact, when push comes to shove, it's going to be like, hey, do you have time to just grab a cup of coffee? It's like, what happened to the 5-star dinner? Or I'm going to cook a 5-star dinner. I'm going to get this. I'm going to become all of this. But in fact, they don't have the credentials to go work in a fancy 5-star restaurant. But they said that's what I do. And then it turns out, no, they overstated what they said. They work in a restaurant, but they are not the head chef. They do not own the restaurant. I feel like this person has a problem with truthfulness. And I think the fact that our lead character has dealt with somebody who has a problem with truthfulness, it makes them feel like, God, did I miss out on like the greatest catch of my life? No, they did not. In this storyline, either they, if they didn't get the job or they didn't get a particular romantic partner, I got to say that person was a lot of hot air. And I think if our character distills things down and says, now, wait a minute, remember, what is for me will not pass me by. So instead of thinking, God, I can't help it, I'm so disappointed because I feel like I missed out. What they don't know is that they might have only missed out on somebody that was full of hot air. So they really missed out on nothing. And I think as soon as they start remembering, I'm not going to miss out on somebody that's amazing. I'm not going to miss out on somebody that is truly a great match for me. I definitely would like to miss out on the ones that aren't a great match for me. It saves me time and trouble. And I think as soon as our character kind of flips that in the opposite direction, I think that their heart's going to be full again. The reason I think characters get sad is when they think that they lost the best thing they could have ever come across. But this challenges that idea and says, now, wait a minute, why do we think that was the best thing we ever had a chance to have? The bottom line was, it wasn't the best thing we ever had a chance to have. We just weren't around it long enough to find that out. Had we stuck around longer, or had they been around longer, we might have seen through their hot air. But to keep a lie intact, a trickster, a liar usually has to stay back a little bit, right? Because if you see them on the daily, you're going to find out that they told a whopper of a lie. So it kind of puts a different spin on things. I mean, I know it would have been nicer maybe for our character not have to meet a magician in the reverse, but this is such a great and gentle reminder that if something's not working out, instead of being sad and imagining we missed out on the best thing ever, it's more likely maybe it would have been a massive cow flop after all. And we just weren't around it long enough to get that confirmation. But I think that definitely lightens the energy and allows our character to kind of like have a little bit more, softer energy now. I think if anything, they're probably going to be like, thank you, universe. Thank you for protecting me from that one then. All right, next up, I'm going to go onward to Mastering Me. Mastering Me, it is coming in at 5808. Yes. All right, Mastering Me. Let's see what we got here. Mastering Me, we have King of Wands. Strong energy starting out. All right, King of Wands is going to be, we've got somebody almost like, I feel always like this is a mystic. Oof. Okay, thank goodness. Some of these cards have a lot of nudity on them. I was like, I can't see what popped out because it was not facing me, but we're good. The cosmos says there is somebody out there that is a mystic. There is a powerful, possibly Libra Sag. Sorry, I don't know why I want to say Libra. Leo Sag Aries. Over here we had a Leo. Oh my gosh, I can't talk. A Libra, Aquarius, Gemini, possibly, but they were in a karmic energy. They're being blocked out of our character's life. There's two different kings in this story. One king is silently trying to manifest our lead character in. They are someone who, I'm sorry, it is obvious to me which one I think is the better king, because this King of Swords is, they're either still trapped somewhere, or they believe that they're trapped somewhere because they're in such karmic energy. They will not follow their dreams. They will not break out of a thought process. They remain forever stuck. They remain right where they think I can't get out. I can't get out. That's probably not true, but that's in their mind. That's how it is. That's okay. It gives this person time to call forth or to find. I feel like they are energetically seeking our lead character. Our lead character may not know this person is even out there because they come across as such a profound mystic, right? Their eyes are blind, their third eye is wide open. I love this King of Wands. I think it's such a, like, I don't know, I want to know who that character is. I always am drawn to them versus a character who's already shown through their actions that they're in their karmic energy because they're covered in dragon tattoos, which should be following their dreams, but they don't. They've got, a bow and arrow, but they're not going after their bullseye. They just stand there and hold their bow and arrow. So with that Eight of Swords, they're completely stuck. They're choosing to be, though. They're not trying to find a way out of their stuck energy. They're not finding a way to get to our lead character, but I kind of think they're not supposed to, because I think this King of Wands needs time to come into our lead character's life. And it kind of feels like whatever delays or whatever, shadow journey that this King of Swords is on, it's okay. It's buying this person some time, because I don't feel like our lead character knows them yet. I don't see how these two have already interacted. I feel like this says there's this energetic pull. It's kind of like, how the universe is expanding. It feels like there's this pull where our character is going to cross paths with them, but they haven't yet. But in the meantime, this person is being like shoved off to the side and being like, no, you're still on the bench. No. You can't be in our character's life. Our character may be completely without anyone showing up in their life right now, and yet they're intimately interwoven to the lives of both of these kings, which is interesting to think that we've got like one thing is being prevented, the other one, our character is being pulled toward, but they're somewhere in between either of these situations. So we have one kind of incomplete situation and one that hasn't even begun yet. But that moment where our character is in the midst of it, it's maybe a moment for them to pause and reflect. Okay, so what am I supposed to be doing right now? Since I have this that's coming and this that's being held back, I'm not with either person right now or dealing with either. So what is it that I'm supposed to do? Probably just attend to my own needs and trust that this is coming in and this is being left in the past. But I feel like we're seeing our character in a moment of that transition phase. They haven't had the new thing come in yet. But it's almost because I think that, think about like a revolving door. At some point, if it's a revolving door, we haven't yet reached a point where one side is open and, one person can leave and the other person's coming into the building. There's a point where everybody's just stuck in the revolution. And that's kind of what this storyline is to me. That was interesting. All right, next up, we have got Crystal Suzzane, and then Crystal Suzzane, right after I do yours, I'm also going to do Waiting for an Angel, which was gifted by Crystal Suzzane for Waiting for an Angel. But first, let's do Crystal Suzanne's coming in at 103.14. All right, Crystal Suzzane, let's get a card for you, my dear. Crystal Suzzane. We got a little cluster. We got a Queen of Pentacles, strong, powerful. Look at how she is like this. I always think of her as like a part tree or part seed pod that once conditions are right and there's a little bit more water flow, she's going to blossom and bloom, and we're going to see what she really is. It's like every year I forget what I planted in certain places in like, flower pots, and then I get to see how they emerge. Right now they're green. Not everything has shown me what their flowers are going to be yet, and I can't wait to see. There's all of this excitement and potential because what's going to happen or what direction our character is going to grow, we get to anticipate that happening. We have a Five of Pentacles. We have a King of Wands. And we have a Seven of Swords. Okay, so this is actually not the lightest and happiest. She has a ton of potential, yes. But over here, we have someone who is not coming in to water the plant. We have somebody who loves her, who thinks about her daily, all the time. That's all they do is think about her. I'm sorry, I have to cover her up because she is part of the like almost camouflaged in with the sky behind them in that window. But they sit here and pretend that they don't think about her when that's all they do is think about her. But they still hold back. It feels like this person is somehow juggling other things in life, maybe attending to these goofy kids on stilts. They feel like I'm trapped by all of these expectations. I have to sit in this throne. I have to box up my emotions and compartmentalize when really this is just me carrying the mantle of some wounded energy. And to do all this, to give all my energy to my goofy kids on stilts, playing around, feeling like I got to support everybody, feeling like I don't have enough time left to pursue my own wishes, hopes, dreams, and love, because look at all my responsibilities and I must suffer because that's how I was trained. I suffer to make sure other people have what they need, even to the point of giving away all my money because that's what I'm supposed to do. But my secret is that I think of her all the time, the person I'd like to give to all the time. So I feel like there's not any question that they care about her and think about her continuously, but they still are denying themselves the right to pursue happiness. What's the message just for her? Page of Wands. The Page of Wands is, it's time for her to put all of her energy into her own creative, beautiful life. Someone who loves her from afar, but is and never has forgotten her and doesn't stop thinking about her, but they want to continue to suffer for a while. She's not going to be able to change that, but she doesn't need to suffer with them. She has time to blossom some of her personal talents. Remember I said it's like, oh, who knows what she's going to do next? Who knows what she's going to blossom into? She's a seed pod that's about to hatch open. This says in this spare time, she can do anything. If she's an artist, she can spend all of her time painting. She can spend her money doing whatever she wants. She can do anything that strikes her fancy and should blossom, grow, go after anything that she's interested in, because so long as another character is going to continue to choose to be held back, strapped to this little chair of, well, I can't retire or I can't stop giving to, my kids or whatever it is, even though I think about you all the time, until they get tired of doing that, they're going to stay stuck. She's not stuck at all. She's free as an artist. She is free as a bird, and she has lots and lots and lots of things to develop. Now, she may very well develop a new relationship with somebody who looks damn good in a suit, somebody who's educated, somebody who's talented. She may meet this person through a new endeavor, something that she wants to go and do for herself, some hobby. She may take an art class, and pretty soon she's dating an artistic instructor. Her life doesn't stop just because somebody else is stuck. Her life instead blossoms in all new directions. Who knows what will happen with that King of Wands who stays, stuck in misery right now, but she's not in misery. So there's no point in her having to go through sorrow or worry or fret over them, because they're making their choices. They're choosing misery. She does not choose misery, nor should she. That to me is a very strong message for this one. All right, I'm going to leave that alone before I get too bossy about that. Anyway, next up, waiting for an angel. You're coming at 108:10. Oops, let me make sure I can read that again later. All right, waiting for an angel. Let's go with, I think this deck would be perfect. All right, waiting for an angel. Here we go. We've got Knight of Wands upright. Okay, so we have passion, we have excitement, we have we got a 10 of Wands sideways, and we have a King of Cups. Sorry, did I say 10 of Wands? 10 of Cups sideways, and a King of Cups upright. So I got wands in my mind. This is new passion. This is new love. This still gives the message of don't assume that everything's going to be perfect, especially if this is a brand new individual, only because, they're going to come with their own flaws. But meeting somebody who pops in and they're excited, if they want to turn into a king, they will. But let's not give them the crown until they've proved that they've got a head strong enough to hold it, right? So have fun, enjoy this new energy, enjoy the laughter, enjoy, but meet this person where they're at. Until they lock it down to make it more serious and talk about, I want this to be my 10 of cups. They haven't, given that offer yet. They haven't pursued that. So instead, if we're Knight of Wandsing right now, guess what? I'll meet you as a Knight of Wands myself. It's something where I feel like they will be shifting into this King of Cups energy, but instead of assuming it or saying, well, of course they're going to become my everything, this says, no, they may still want to be our everything, but even then, the choice still remains with our lead character. So all of this keeps reminding our character of choice. Number one, when we meet somebody who's flashy and fun, awesome. But remember, we're trying to decide if we would consider them as more than a flashy and fun, exciting person. So we match them in their energy. You're flashy, fun, exciting. I'll meet you there. That's awesome. I'm not calling you a king until you prove that you are one. Even if then you become a king, I still have to decide, is this the king I'm looking for? You're wonderful. I see you're more and more interested. You're more and more open. That's wonderful. But is this my 10 of cups? Because sometimes somebody can be wonderful and fabulous. And if we're still not in love, or that's not what our 10 of cups is, then the bottom line is we still may have to say no thank you. So at every turn, we have a character just being reminded, this could be fabulous. This could be everything they ever hoped and wished and dreamed for, but they've got to answer the question for themselves. Are they right for me? Do I see them as my 10 of cups? And I think just being reminded of that empowered energy of, ultimately I'm the decider. What does my 10 look like? Who do I really want to give my energy to? It's a different way to begin this process, especially it feels like this character is going to get a chance to practice that, meeting somebody brand new, having it start to build and grow into something beautiful. But even then, maybe for the first time in our character's life, they're realizing, oh, but I get to pick still. Is this right for me? See, I'm wondering if this is a message, because it seems so simple, but I don't think it is, because I'm wondering if our character had never been in that position before, where it was really all up to them. And they were cognizant that I'm picking. Is this right for me? Are they my person? I pick, nobody but me. And even if they're wonderful, I still don't have to say yes. Giving oneself that personal freedom, I think, is huge. I think that's what that message was really about. You still don't have to say yes. All right, next up, Tammy Secord. You are coming in next at 1/12/14. Oops, 14. There we go. Tammy Secord, how are you, sweetheart? All right, let's get into this. Ooh, Tammy, we got a couple cards bouncing all over the place. So sideways, we have the Chariot. Somebody's thinking about a trip. Not sure if they're going to take it or not yet. We've got that Cancerian energy. On the front of her car, it says Cosmic. That's her license plate. We see her in this powerful energy, female, and she got the masculine antlers on as well. This is somebody who, if she chooses to go, she'll do it. Is she going to go out and watch some, I don't know, like some dark sky, drive out into the desert, or drive out someplace where she can watch a meteor shower? Is she going to go to some, 1970s themed party? She's thinking about it. She's thinking, do I want to go? Do I not? We got a 9 of Pentacles. We got the Ace of Swords. This message says our character probably doesn't have time to do absolutely everything, which is why they've got to prioritize. And I think this is a character who's a bit of a giver. They should be able to look at themselves as someone who's earned the right to be honest and say, I want to do this from me. This feels good to me. I'm going to go, even if I have to tell other people I can't do such and such for you, because I really want to take this trip. To me, I feel like a character has almost talked themselves out of doing something that they really want to do. And it's like, but I have the money, I have the time, so long as I preserve that for myself. And I tell other people, this is important for my vibration, my mental health, my well-being. I need to do this for me. I've been listening to this calling inside my heart. I don't really want to ignore it. But they will have to probably say no to some other offers, some other people that are going to want things from them. And I kind of feel like that's their struggle in this. But this says, remember, look at her guide is this gorgeous, I don't know if this is like a macaw or what. I don't know my birds very well. But it's like her guide is like sitting there, like ready to squawk at her, like, hey, I'm telling you, we want to do this, right? This is something for your own healing, your own vibration. Your license plate says cosmic. This is something, maybe this is going to be really awesome, like 1970s tracks. I'm picturing a lot of ABBA music in my head right now. I got Dancing Queen going round and round right now. But maybe it's like, I'd love to take that road trip and listen to my favorite tracks. But she almost talked herself out of it. And this is kind of saying, if this is what she needs to do for herself, and her guides are telling her this, and this is all for, you see all the amethyst crystal, it's like it's going to help raise her own vibration. Maybe she needs to do this for herself, and she needs to admit that I actually need this to, like, for a reset button. I need to do this thing for me. Whatever this nice thing or nice adventure or nice place that she wants to go, she's almost talked herself out of it. And I think this message says, I mean, it's always up to her. But if what she wants to do is something that would be really soothing, really healing, then isn't she worth that? That's what the question that it poses is, but aren't you worth it? Yes, you are worth it. If you want to. You don't have to, of course, but you need not say no to something that you really need to do for you, because you are important too. That's the way I would look at that. Next up, Brenda Lee coming in at 11601. All right, Brenda, hang on. I better make sure I can read that. Ooh, Brenda Lee, let's get a card for you. I'm going with one of my favorite decks that is very whimsical and has lots of animals on it. I don't know why, but that's what I was drawn to. So we have a 3 of Cups. We have the 9 of Pentacles. And then we also have the 2 of Pentacles. And they all kind of came out in a little sideways angle. I'm going to show them upright just because they're such pretty cards. But we got a question mark going on here. Is our character going to choose one direction or the other? This almost is like, I know it's a 2 of Pentacles, not a 2 of Cups, but you notice how we have these twins, we have these conjoined llamas, but we have them pulling in different directions. We have what should be cooperation and joyful cooperation, but instead, like, I'm always so worried about these little kitties out there in the half eggshell on the wild ocean. So it worries me, right? I don't want my little kittens to be out there adrift like that. And then we have this, like, okay, the alternate is I can sit here and I can feel very powerful and very self-sufficient, but it doesn't fix the problem that I'm still trying to figure out what to do about this. It almost feels like somebody is tapping out, sitting down, saying, okay, every time I'm around this person, it jangles my nerves, and then I regroup, but then I come right back around to not knowing, but what should I do? Because I feel really drawn to this person. I feel like this is somebody who comes in and out of our character's life. It's like, the infinity symbol. Every time they come in, I'm excited, but I'm like, I don't know what to do. And then I pull back and I feel good. And then they come back around and I'm right back where I started in the not knowing, what do I do about this, either about this person or about this situation. That's the clearest way I could describe this. I thought a card came out and it didn't yet. Okay. We've got, see, this person is kind of stuck a little bit because they're trying to figure out, what does my higher self say? So we have the 8 of Swords. This person's trapped in their bird cage here. And then we have the Hierophant, and the Hierophant came out sideways. I can't quite hear my, crown chakra. What are my ancestors saying? What are my guides saying? Well, I would have to say this. If somebody keeps confusing our character, I do feel like this is a good example of, it's just that our character is not really listening to their higher self loud and clear. Maybe because every time this individual, shows back up. Oh, I've got that awesome song by Vince Gill in my head, Whenever You Come Around. It's something about I get weak in the knees and I lose my breath. It just feels like this is our character's like little bit of kryptonite almost. And for this storyline, the purpose of this storyline, it rattles our character and it gets them a little bit stuck in their head. The only thing is, the reason this person keeps coming back around is because they feel the same way. And maybe if these two were able to say, okay, I'm as stuck on you as you are on me, we keep coming round to each other for a reason. Maybe they could both come to the same conclusion. I don't know why I can't let this go. We're sometimes we're good together, sometimes we're not good together, but ultimately I actually think that they both add value to each other's lives. But maybe if they come to the conclusion, or they're being challenged to recognize, wait a minute, it's not just me getting stuck on you, you're stuck on me too. Okay, well then maybe we don't have to call this like one of those situations where I don't know what to do about you because I have to make a decision what category you fit in my life, or I have to decide if I never speak to you again or not. Maybe that's just it. Maybe that's never going to be the story for them. They're never not going to talk. They're never really going to get a precise category either, because maybe they're kind of somehow conjoined. We are two halves of one another. We're going to dance in and out of each other's lives. And maybe if we thought about it, if we could fast forward 45 years into the future, we might say, you know what? You know what's so awesome is that I've known you for the last 80 years of my life. Sometimes I didn't know if you were supposed to be a friend or a lover or somebody that just made me want to, tear my hair out. But I've known you all these years because there's something about our two spirits, kindred spirits here. Maybe that's it. Maybe accepting that we don't have a label for this. I know that's not an exact answer, but I actually feel like that makes a lot more sense for this particular story. As always, they are fictional stories. So, however it comes out, it comes out. But that's what we got on that one. Hang on, we got one coming out of deck that shouldn't even be here. Well, I'll hang on to this, but just a minute. Brenda, before I tap out, it says, Book of Shadows, you are empowered by shining a light in the darkness. So I don't know, but that's just a side note. We'll leave that one there. All right. Next up, I've got Denise. Denise is coming in at 121.29. All right, Denise. Okay, so here we go. Let's see what we get. What is the message from the cosmos for Denise? And we have the Seven of Pentacles and the Justice card. It is taking a while, but on the other hand, this time that something is taking to grow and come to fruition, it's only going to grow stronger. The effort that is being put into something is secretly going to be the thing that brings balance. So this is Isis, and she stands here, and this is the Egyptian concept of Ma'at and Isfet. So the concept of chaos versus, order in the universe. And with the balancing of the scales here, it says, well, we actually have to have some kind of imbalance in order to have balance. We need both. We need variety and spice and chaos sometimes, and we need clear direction. But with this energy of the Seven of Pentacles being here, it's taking a long time, which seems really unfair. It seems like it shouldn't take this long, but because the Seven of Pentacles is a card of beautiful growth, I don't look at it as a negative. I look at it as the longer a process takes, the more all the little bumps in the road can get worked out, or the more, I'm thinking right now about pilots in training. Pilots go through all those simulation hours, and they need to learn how to deal with every terrible mechanical malfunction and every weather issue. And so the longer they train and the more flight hours they have, the more chaos they've dealt with, right? Crazy passengers, bizarre mishaps, air traffic controller issues, mechanical problems, you name it, weather pattern disruptions. They've dealt with all kinds of stuff that they didn't even learn about or go through to that extent in the flight simulators. All of the time that you log doing anything in life, you're going to encounter more chaos moments, but you're also going to work through them and learn how to handle yourself in those chaos moments, which only strengthens what your growth actually has been. So adversity has been a significant part of this character's life. Man, that is why they are such a freaking pro. This is somebody who is moving up. Maybe they've taken a long time to move up in a company, for example, and that's not fair. But on the other hand, this person is going to be like so incredibly capable. Their skill level is going to be off the charts. And what seems like it took a long time, this could be a person who took forever to finally get an advancement to being like manager, but maybe then they go from manager to CEO's right-hand man in the span of 2 months after that. Sometimes we make massive jumps. And so what seems unfair could actually be an act of a balancing act. We spend a lot more time doing the groundwork and then we make sudden big jumps. So this says the growth and the struggles are so well worth it because our character is simply becoming a much more like potent individual. I also feel like if there's a Libra involved, this is somebody who is possibly going to be delivering a lot of justice to a character. I feel like this character is going to get what they have actually earned, even though it's taken a long time for them to receive it. And that part's not fun, but the outcome is still awesome. So I'm okay with that one. All right, Rach, let's go onward to you next, my dear. Rach, I'm going to go with this deck for you. All right. Oh, and excuse me, I got to timestamp that. 1:25:16. All right, Rach, here we go. All right, my dear. So let us begin. We have got the Queen of Wands. We got the Three of Cups. And we got the Five of Swords. Okay, so this storyline is actually the message from the cosmos. It's interesting because a Queen of Wands character kind of needs to cut somebody out. If she's hearing information from different people or two people are fighting and she's trapped in the middle, friends or something, or friends are particularly gossipy about one another, she needs to step back from it. It's not her stuff to have to deal with. She doesn't get involved in big drama. And so when other people bring big drama, she doesn't have to deal with it. That's just not who she is. It's not who she has to, like, okay, if this is what the group is doing, then I guess I'm just stuck in the middle of it. No, she doesn't have to. A Queen of Wands can remain friends with people. And also if they're behaving in a certain way, she doesn't ever like lower herself to behave in the same way. It's like, look, I'm not getting into this, you guys. If this is siblings, sisters fighting, again, she's like, look, I love hanging out with both of you and I'm going to keep doing it. Even if you two get into a fight, I'm still friends with each of you. You're going to have to respect that. I feel like it's a good way to squash this. This feels like beef that she's not going to get pulled into. Now, she either is cutting the beef out of her life, doesn't mean she doesn't have to talk to them, but she's not going to deal with those particular conversations if they want to drag her into their problems. Now, the other way I would look at this is message from the cosmos says, remember, she's a cut above. If other people are telling her a bunch of gossip, or maybe friends are telling her a truth about someone, like giving her a warning, if it comes from, somebody that she really does trust, that might be enough information for her to withdraw, based off of reliable intel. With the Five of Swords, it's like, you know what? Thanks for letting me know. I don't choose to engage with that person. There could be a Libra, Gemini, Aquarius she's not going to deal with anymore, but she may get this news from well-meaning friends. I feel more that it's the first storyline where it's somebody squashing the drama and saying, I'm not a drama queen. I'm a Queen of Wands. So I don't really deal with that. A lot of beautiful dark hair here. She has, and beautiful dark hair with these little accents. She wears beautiful gold, like filigree or something really special. Maybe something that almost seems understated, but is not for her. She's really attractive. And Queen of Wands is always really attractive, and it's because they hold themselves to a really high level. I really feel like she is just not going down the road of any kind of drama for anyone. That's a very admirable character and hard to do. It's hard to withdraw and say, nope, no drama for me. Thank you very much. The rest of y'all, you do what you do, but leave me out of it. All right. Next up, we are going to go to Firefly. And Firefly, you are coming in at 1:28:39. All right, Firefly, let's get a card for Firefly. What is the message? We've got the Star in the reverse. That feels like a missed goal or an opportunity that either a character didn't access yet, or they feel like they've been denied a chance, or they haven't healed from something. We have an Eight of Cups in the reverse, so something's coming back around. Oh, to give them closure. We have a 10 of swords and we have the moon. I think that there was something that our character did not know. They did not have success and they didn't know why. And I think that returning to it, or that thing returning to them, will give them closure. It'll finally clarify, like, okay, so that was the part that I didn't know. That was the thing I didn't have answers on. To me, it feels very much like the guides have been or will be helping our character to get closure, but they had to revisit a topic. You know what? This could be somebody who's like, I need to figure out where the root of some issue that I have today originally came from. And it could be somewhere in their subconscious. It could be that they're going to have a dream that reveals this to them, or it could be they're going to talk with a therapist or a counselor, or it could just be that they return to the topic at hand and they see things so differently. You know, once in a while we think, oh, wow, I was so stunned, you know, here I came to this event, or I, you know, thought I was going to go out with this person and it was a terrible experience. They never called me back. And all I remember is they never called me back. They must not have liked me. And when they revisit what actually happened on that date in their memory bank, or when they sit down with a friend and a friend goes, what happened? So you had a really nice time with them, and the friend's, you know, character was like, well, no, actually it was a horrible date. No, they were super rude. Yeah, they weren't attractive to me on sight. And the friend's going to be like, well, then you didn't want to talk to them anyway, right? Well, actually, God, now that I'm recounting all of this, no, what I was first is I was wounded because it felt like I thought this was going to be a great date. In reality, it wasn't. But what I took away from it is they never called me again. Yeah, but you didn't want them to call you. That wasn't your person. Oh, actually, you're right. I didn't, until I recounted the entire experience. I didn't realize, maybe even a friend points it out and says, well, obviously they couldn't keep up with you. Obviously, if they were rude and uncomfortable, they might have been the person where you intimidated them. How were they dressed? You look like $1 million. Did they look the same? You know, were they annoyed because you made them feel inadequate without even doing anything? You know, sometimes the hurt that we feel over a rejection, if we break it down and we realize, wait a minute, what was their interaction in it? What was their response? How did they behave? Sometimes that's the thing that a character hadn't fully realized. The information was right there. I just didn't. It was even stored somewhere in my subconscious, but I didn't access it. What I felt like was, wow, I wasn't chosen, or wow, that felt like kind of a wound. But if we sometimes revisit and look at the context of a situation, is it really a wound, or do we understand it better? Because I think there was information that our character just hadn't fully realized that was locked in there, stored in their memory bank. I feel like this was about an opportunity that they, for a while, really felt like they missed out on. And I think as they talk it out, it's going to become pretty clear. Oh, I didn't miss out on that. You're right. That wasn't the situation that I wanted. But they do have to revisit that. They do have to revisit the memory, not with rose-colored glasses on, but with those, you know, kind of like realistic glasses. And I'm picturing this person like talking it out with another individual, because they're helping to point out the things that were obvious, the things that it's like, well, you already know you didn't like this person and they didn't like you right out of the gate. You two were not a match. It's like, oh yeah, okay, never mind. I can let that go then. It just feels like sometimes revisiting a topic really helps to like clear our mind. And sometimes we see things that we didn't see before, or rereading a text and seeing something in a way that we didn't see it before. Okay, I'm going to leave that there. Next up, we have Margaretta. Margaretta coming in at 133.28. All right, Margaretta, I think I'm going to go with, let's go with this deck. All right, what is the message for Margaretta? We have got the 6 of coins. It turned out in the reverse. Wait, did I see that right? Ace of coins, excuse me. I can't see it unless I flip it. Ace of coins in the reverse says this is not a new beginning. This is not, we don't have a do-over yet. Now that may be because it's not the right time. We have a Queen of Cups And we have a Prince of Cups. We haven't ended something or had a new beginning yet because it's not over. For this storyline, it's not over. We have somebody about to come toward this very loving, very elegant, very exquisite individual. This could be very much a past life love story that we're talking about. She has been possibly very contemplative and only sipping from her own cup lately, but we have a person coming back in to her. We have somebody being guided by the little cherub saying, yeah, go talk to her. Don't let this go. You're still interested. They could be about to reach out and offer her love or an apology. An emotional offer is coming forward. But the reason there hasn't been a new beginning someplace else, the reason maybe she hasn't fully met somebody new, is because there's already something that is unfinished. And I don't think that these two need to begin fresh. I think they need to pick up where they left off and add to it. This feels like an unfinished symphony, even though I think it's been a while since maybe she spoke to this person or had anything to do with this person. Unfinished symphonies, they need to still be addressed. And I think that there's been a blessing that there's been a delay. This is a very self-possessed queen. She didn't have to rush out and go get somebody else to talk to. It's not like, oh, I'm so lonely, give me anybody to talk to. I've got to always have someone to give to. No. Queens manage their energy really well. Maybe she took some time and went to the ocean. Maybe she took some time and went to the art galleries. Maybe she went shopping and got a sassy new red sexy dress. She's been living her life, doing things that make her happy. But knowing that the door was never fully closed, because the door has never been fully closed. There's something about timing here. There's something about, our knights are action takers, but sometimes you can't take action until the time is right. And it just feels like this is somebody that she never forgot, because they also never forgot her. This is an unfinished symphony that's coming back around. And that's the real reason she hasn't met somebody new yet. It's because they never were done with this. Ooh, that feels like a romance that's about to get restarted. That's about to get revved up and going again. So kind of a nice, that's like, I don't know, that gave me a little smile. Like I'm happy to see what happens for those two next. All right, next up, Autism Guru. Happy birthday, sweetheart. All right, let's go ahead and get you a card. Autism Guru, what is the message from the cosmos? Ooh, yeah, we got strength. And we've got this glorious feminine who's riding in naked, actually, on her lion. This is somebody heroic. This is somebody, I almost feel like the end of the Odyssey when he returns home, after 20 years out at sea. Look at this. Talk about the end of one era of life and the beginning of a new. Our character has mastered everything. We have the Tower. So we have Leo and Aries here. When something like this happens where it's new and everything changes, our character has just made a massive graduation in their life. They have reached a point of full-on mastery, and it is taking them in all new directions as we see the Wheel of Fortune. What a great card to have, because I look at the Wheel of Fortune and the World both as like a year cycle. And the fact that this is your little solar return, this says, man, we got a good year up ahead. We have a year where our character is master of their own ship. They will have opportunities for increased change for sure, because we have a serpent. We also have a little monkey, and we have like an interesting kangaroo character. So I don't know if our character is going to be traveling more. Possibly we've got Australia there. And then I think of someplace very jungly, like South America or something, someplace where they have little howler monkeys and serpents. The serpent is wrapped around, though, it almost feels like a place where there's serpents in trees. So I'm really thinking like jungle. So yeah, I don't know. Mexico comes to mind. But I feel like this character has got a kind of like each season in the upcoming year. You notice how each season is noted here. There's going to be something momentous, something that they will accomplish, something that is going to be a unique adventure just for them. And it's going to be the right time. I feel like this is going to be a culmination year. I feel like each of the 4 quarters of the year, there's going to be massive breakthroughs or putting, like finishing touches on different things. If they had wanted to take a certain trip, they'll probably take that trip. If they wanted to get a certain pet, they'll get that pet. If they wanted to, have success in one area of life, this is like in the last, 35 years of my life, there were some things I really wanted to do. This is the year that a bunch of things are going to be accomplished because there's no more blockages. There's no more things that have to be learned. Now it's the time to apply everything that our character has learned. And wow, do they have some massive change. They could not only travel, they could end up relocating, and that could be not part of their plans. And then it all of a sudden solidifies. We've got a 9 of Pentacles and we have a King of Pentacles. And this King of Pentacles is in a robe, but nothing else. So I'm covering him a little bit. This is a year of tremendous financial abundance. And again, things that happen seemingly without her expecting them to happen, including love. I don't know if this character would have expected to meet maybe the love of their life, but this looks like it's the year for it. This is the year for, again, it's culmination year. So many things click into place. It's like, wow, I met in different people I dated before. I had aspects of what I would have looked for in a partner, but I never saw it all put into one person until now, until this year. I will say summertime could be a particularly abundant time for both money and romance as well. But there's enjoyment to be had at every season. But it's, I don't know, I just keep seeing culmination of many different things this year. That's really exciting. It's, I don't know. I feel like this is going to be a year where somebody looks around their house suddenly and goes, wow, look at that. I've replaced like everything I own with something more valuable, more, higher quality. It seems like that's what's happening this year. Everything becomes more high quality. Autism Guru, I didn't write down the time that I started yours. Oh my gosh, I do not know, but let me go on to Cassie's now for 141:29. And I don't know how I'm going to find that one again because it's going to take hours for this to process. I'm going to put in a timeline roundabout what I think it was, Autism Guru, but I apologize. Okay, Cassie, 141:41 is what I should say for you. Okay, Cassie, here we go, my dear. Let's see what we get. Let's pull a card for Cassie. What is the message from the cosmos? Ooh, Ace of Cups. The universe is sending love. Literally out of the sky. The universe is like, all of a sudden, here it comes. Here it comes. Somebody's got a tattoo on their wrist, possibly. Interesting colored like nails also. And we got the 2 of Pentacles in the reverse. This is not going to be like a question mark either. This is going to be something where there's no guessing game involved. There's no worry about, oh gosh, is this real? Is this not? Look at this. We got a Knight of Cups. We got an Ace of Swords. We got a 6 of Swords. That song, We Got to Get Out of This Place, if it's the last thing we ever do, is playing in my head right now. The fact that we've got this wonderful forward motion, somebody's truthful, somebody's clear, somebody is 100% in it to win it. And it's like, come on, babe, hop in my sidecar. We're going into something better. I feel like this is a character who is, I don't know that our characters ever had somebody that made them feel so safe, so secure, and so certain that they were dealing with somebody who knows who they are. When somebody knows who they are, it really translates well because it shows our character. I don't have to question my role because you're not questioning yours. You know exactly how you feel. You've said it point blank. And that's how we're going to get through this. If this is somebody here to reconcile and it's like, I want to save this connection, bam, here it is. This is how I feel. This is the truth of it. I want us to get to a good place. This is somebody who means it. And because of that, I think our character is going to be able to get on board with it. It's like if they came in weak or hesitant, it wouldn't work. I think this person is coming in saying, here I am. This is what I want. I want us to give it a really strong go because I really want this. Here's my intentions. Are you in? They know that it has to be like, are you in? Will you say yes? And also like, what are your needs? We got to negotiate, but are you in you want the same thing as me. You want to get to a calm place, a good place, because we want this. Okay, then let's do it. And I feel like that's the message from the universe, is when two people are on the same page, I'm staying by your side. We'll still have to work through stuff, but I want to work through stuff with you. If we're going to have problems, you're the person I want to have problems with, because you're also the person that I want to work through problems with. And I feel like that's the message from the universe. That's what's either finally coming in, or that's the clue in to like whether or not a connection, like what's the secret sauce that'll help a connection flow. It might be that. It's not that we're not going to have problems. It's that I pick you to work on problems with. That's kind of a nice, realistic expectation, I think. All right, San Juanita, let's go ahead and pull a card for you, my dear. And San Juanita, I think that I actually want to go with this deck for you. Let me put a timestamp on this for you, honey. 1:44:56. Boy, I hope I can read my writing. San Juanita, here we go. What is the message? We have got the Hierophant sideways, and we got the Judgment card upright. So Scorpio and Taurus coming in. First off, we have with the Judgment card, I love this one. We have a message from a little loved one on the other side of the rainbow bridge that is saying, don't worry, Mom, I'm with all my friends. This is a great place. I'm a little angel up here, and I am having a good old time. So if you're worried, don't worry. I got this. This is great. With the Hierophant, this seems to me, because it's sideways, I think our character already has a connection, and they know this, but they needed a sign, or they needed to feel like, am I hearing my own higher self talk to me? This is also, I think anyway, because the Hierophant can be our belief systems. It can be the things that we gravitate toward and the things that we commit ourselves to. And I think our character had been trying to figure out, do I do this next thing? Do I feel like this is a good idea? Do I want to reconcile with this? Do I want to bring something into my life? What do I want to do? It feels like our character has been questioning, should I do this? I'm looking for a sign. And I think that there's a lot of really positive little support coming in right now. We have Wheel of Fortune, and we have Queen of Swords in the reverse. It's the right time for our character to move toward greater happiness and let go of either some hurt or some harsh words, or move away from somebody who is kind of rude. This feels like our character deserves to be happy. And I can't help but say, I think they're going to let go of trying to make peace with someone who hasn't been particularly sweet and kind. And I almost think that they're getting support from whomever is on the other side, whomever this little angel is presiding over this. It's like me and all the other angels up here say, move away from vexatious period, or vexatious people, or period, move away from people that are angry and stuff, and instead move toward the sunlight, move toward playful energy, move toward better energy. If we have people around us that have a real negative vibe, sometimes it can really impact our vibe too. And I think that that's the gentle warning, is like, no, be around happier, be around better, be around kinder, be around softer. That's the best way that I would look at that. I think there's a lot of love and support from our character's own guides. I think this character has a really strong sense of guidance. Obviously, I chose the dog deck, but there are so many dogs here. Like, we got cards that are just full of good energy. And I think that if our character was questioning, do I have a right to remove myself from somebody who's kind of rude? Because I think this is a really loyal-hearted person, is what I see. I see this as a very loyal character that doesn't like to put up boundaries, because it's like, hey, who am I to say how a Queen of Swords has to behave? But if there's always a mean-spirited energy, maybe they need to go, work through their shadow before they can play nice with others, Let's put it in this context. Like, Aries, my dog, does not like dog parks, because when he was a pup, first time I ever took him, this really inadequate dog owner who had 3 full-size dogs and my baby was little, they came and pounded him, slammed him up against the side of the chain link fence fence. The person didn't even like react to get his dogs off of mine. It was horrible. And Aries has never wanted to go to a dog park again. And it's a reason he doesn't like certain breeds. And I think that if you can't play nice with others, you probably shouldn't be there. Now, in this case, it's me that said, well, it doesn't matter. Aries is not going back. He doesn't even want to. But really, it was that other dog owner that probably should have looked at their dogs and said, wow, if you guys are too aggressive, maybe you can't come and play with others. You know, if we're able to do that with animals and be like, you're better off just walking on leashes and only playing in our own yard because you don't play so nice with others. Doesn't mean they're bad dogs or terrible. It just means you're a little overprotective sometimes. You know, it's easy to say that, but why not? Why couldn't we say that with people too? That's, you know, if you don't play nice with others, then maybe you can't come over and play in my yard. Like that's kind of what the message is on that one. So I'm going to leave that one there, but I love the protection that our character has. All right. Next up, we have Andrea. Andrea coming in at 149.58. All right. Andrea, let's go ahead and get, what is the message from the cosmos? We've got the Girl of Wands. So we've got a lack of interest in something. This is a Page of Wands in any other deck. And so who cares? Because it's in the reverse anyway. But it's like, yeah, but there was only this much interest to begin with. I don't think somebody wants to, I mean, this could be something simple. This could be like, if I don't feel like eating some kind of food tonight, that's not the restaurant I want to patronize. That's okay. I'm just not into it tonight. I'm just not down for it right now. We have a High Priestess and we have a Two of Wands. You know what, though? I think that this is our character picking up on someone else's indecisiveness or lack of interest. And I think our character is wise enough to say, if somebody's not that committal, then it might be better if I spend my time, choosing other things for me too. Because I'm not that interested in somebody who's not that interested. You know, this looks like there's this subtle acknowledgement. I'm not that into this. And our character is picking up on that. I don't know what this is about yet. Let me pull one more because I'm kind of intrigued by this. This could be very specific. And let me show you this first card because I can't get my eyes off of the wedding dress. This could be not like somebody's not sure if they want to get married, but this could be like our character is dealing with, let's say their niece is going to get married or something. Or let's say they work in like a bridal shop and a bride is, maybe they bought a dress, but the salesperson's like, I don't even think you're that into it. I just have a strong sense that you're not really that into it. Either that you're not really ready to get married and you haven't admitted it to yourself yet, or that you are indecisive because maybe even if you're telling me one thing, maybe I already know you're torn between going a whole different route. And I think, see, we have the Hermit. I think that our character is wise enough to say, either if I feel this way where I'm just not that into something, it's a good indicator that my intuition is telling me maybe I shouldn't say yes to this. Maybe I should walk away from it. Or if someone is showing me that they're not that into it and I'm picking up that vibe, maybe I recognize they need to go and just be single and solo for a while instead of trying to connect with me. Either way we slice it, there's this honoring the intuition. Because of the Hermit card, because that's like a personal, quiet journey, now I think it's our lead character. But previously, I was thinking our character is watching somebody else and saying, I can tell they're just not this into it. They're indecisive. They want things to be different than what it actually is. They thought they wanted it, but the reality of it isn't that great. They thought they wanted the big wedding, but maybe they're not so sure. They thought that they wanted to buy the dress, but maybe they're not so sure. So, and I can see it. I can see their indecisiveness, their lack of real interest, their wishing that it was different than what it actually was. Don't try to force yourself to like something that you really don't, is kind of the message here. Whether this is for our lead character or something that our lead character is observing in another person, because now this becomes reflective for oneself. So it could be that our character recognizes somebody doing that, and then that's a wake-up call to themselves that like, hey, you know what? I did something like that in my own life too. I've said yes to something that I don't really want. Okay, let me acknowledge that. You know, I think that's a really great message to be able to identify this isn't what I truly want. I need to go and sit with myself for a little bit because I don't want to say yes to stuff that I'm only halfway into. I like the fact that it's okay to listen to the intuition. It's okay to figure out internally what is really right for me. Um, it's I would say it's necessary in this story. All right, and I've got a card pull now for Linda. All right, Linda Blankenship, let's go ahead and get you one, darling. Yeah, I think this is the one that my hand wanted. So I love this deck. I love the imagery in it. It's very interesting. We have a King of Cups in the reverse and a Six of Cups in the reverse. Right now, this looks like a very bold statement that a character says, I don't want it. Like, I want to just chant that out like a kid. Don't want it. Not interested. Soulmate, nope, try again. Don't want that one anyhow. This looks like I said no. I don't like the way they come at me. So I'm putting down my cards. I'm saying no on that. Okay, our character has made their decree. We have an Eight of Pentacles. We have an Ace of Wands in the reverse. And we have the Hierophant upright. Okay. Our character is saying, I would rather work on things that I really, really, really am interested in becoming proficient in. I don't want to hear that somebody is spying on me. I don't care if somebody still wants to be with me. If I was married to this person and not anymore, I don't care that other people still want me together with them. I'm working on a whole different script over here. I am super dedicated to totally different things. I would say that our character is actually in a very strong spiritual sense, but also very much using their spiritual side to build something better into their 3D life. They don't want fantasies and fairy tales. They don't want selfish people. They aren't interested in any kind of, the stories of longing and you want me, but you spy through the keyhole. If somebody does that, this is such a massive turnoff for this character. Like, I so appreciate how blunt this character is. They're just like, no. If you want it, you work for it. You don't spy through the keyhole. If you want it, you come at me, full blown. You face me. I'm not so scary. Yeah, I'm somebody that's like, I am what you see. What I said is what I meant. The things I do, I really do. I want that in my life. I want tangible results. This is a very warm, very loving person, in fact. We have a Queen of Cups upright. But it's a Queen of Cups who said, I love my life. What I don't love is drama and indecisiveness. I'm super warm, super loving, super giving, but I'm not going to just let people do whatever the heck they want and I just got to absorb it and roll with it. We got a Ten of Swords. Yeah, I'm done with the games. And because I'm so sure of this, it's why I can be so much more loving now. It's why I'm back to feeling empowered. It's why I love my life. It's why I'm enjoying doing the things I'm doing, because I put to rest the idea that I have to tolerate people that are not 100%. They're not sure about what they're doing. They're not ready to give. We got a Nine of Cups upright. Oh my God, she's happier than she's ever been. Getting happier all the time. She keeps finding more like secret doorways of inner happiness, more things that she enjoys, more new friends, more new exciting things to do and see. Her life just got a lot better. We've got a Seven of Pentacles in the reverse, and we have a Ten of Pentacles. She's not having to wait for happiness anymore. It's here. This is a character whose own personal convictions and own like reality check that she gave her own self about how she feels about things, that was a secret to her actually having the life she wants to have. That she doesn't have to wait to be happy. She doesn't have to suffer. She doesn't have to think that, oh, someday maybe I can have happiness. Someday I'll wait until somebody else is ready to offer me something. This is a character who's like, are you kidding me? I can get me my own happiness. Because let me tell you, it definitely isn't going to come in the form of somebody who hides out and can't show up for me. So this is a very strong character, very self-possessed, very powerful. That was awesome. Duanette, Raven, sweetheart, thank you for being here. Oh my gosh, Linda, I did it to you too. I didn't write down your time. Linda, I'm going to have to put in a time. Duanette, Raven, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull a card for you, sweetheart. Although I'm done for the day, except I've got to go over to Tarot Dog and go do the stories for those that were already with me earlier in the day. But I don't want to leave you high and dry, sweetheart. Let me get you one. And Linda, I'm so sorry I didn't write down your time. I'll have to concoct one. We have King of Swords, Duanette. King of Swords starts out with a Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. Powerful energy. This is a king who sits there, looks right into our face, and says a truth. We have a 9 of Cups, we have a 4 of Wands, and we have a Page of Pentacles. This is somebody who they figured something out. They have figured out where their happiness is. They have a proclamation to make. They know exactly what a 4 of Wands looks like to them, and they're headed right toward it. This King of Swords is, because we see them at the beginning of the journey, I don't think this has quite come to pass yet. I think what they notice is somebody who's self-possessed, happy, has built her life exactly how she wants it. And they're looking at it going, oh my God, how admirable is that? I really like this person. I really like who she is. I really like what I see in her. And I really like the fact that that's the direction I want to go to. I want to be in her world. I could see her as my mate, my match. This feels like this is an admirer. This is somebody who's been sitting here and they have noticed how self-possessed and genuine this character is. She's not out trying to capture attention of others. She's just herself. She's doing what she does. But that is exactly why she stands out from the crowd. A truly happy, kind of open-hearted. I mean, look at this. She creates rainbows, for goodness sakes. She's maybe a very creative individual. She may have some unique spark, and she takes great joy in living the life she's chosen to live. A naturally happy person who knows who they are is very attractive to this King of Swords, and they are headed her way. I don't know that she knows that you know that she's the apple of their eye, but they're very much aware of it. This is you know, it's nice when a character is being recognized for all that they are, and that is motivating someone to move right toward them for all the right reasons. That was really nice. All right, you guys. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I'm going to now timestamp all of these in the description box, and then get a sip of water, and then I'll be over on Tarot Dog to do the final grouping of videos for the individuals over there as well. All right, you guys, take care. Thanks again for hanging out with me. Bye for now.